Welcome back to part 3. So I assume that you have been watching part 1 and part 2 before you watch this video. So the next muscle group that we're going to talk about, which is going to make you aesthetic and look like a fucking Greek god that every woman will want to, right? You know what I'm talking about. Is your shoulders. All of your shoulders. It's the frontals, the lateral, and the rear delt. You should focus more on the lateral delt because it gives you the more V-tape shape, which is more attractive to women. And actually, when women have said that they like the arms, it's actually because of it's the lateral delt that goes all the way down to here that they feel that they like on the arm side. Actually, just so you know it. Of course, they also like the biceps, right? Still. So the question is, how do we train this? The shoulders are best trained. Let's start with the front delts, for example. The front delts are best trained when we do heavy movements. With front delts, I wouldn't really recommend doing front raises. I would rather recommend just trying to do overhead presses. So trying to do a lot of incline presses, trying to do a lot of shoulder presses with dumbbells and military overhead press. Doing all these kind of movements is gonna train your frontals the best because you're getting strong on the strong lifts. So here I would recommend doing for some months in the first set 4 to 6 reps. So we really get the strength in the first reps because you're not gonna pack any muscles if you don't getting stronger. That's just obvious, right? When we're getting stronger, we're also getting stronger muscles. Always remember that. And then the second set, we're gonna decrease the weight by 60%. 16, sorry, not 60, 16. So that means that we are going for around 6 now to 8 repetitions. And then for the third set, we're gonna do 8 to 10. That's enough. That's perfect for our hypertrophy to build the muscles. That's for the frontals. And then when you have done that over some time and you feel like now the weights aren't really increasing, then you either switch from a dumbbell overhead press, for example, to a military press. And then when you hit fatigue there, a plateau, you plateau on that, then you can begin to add like a 4th set. And when you plateau on that, you can start doing not the heavy one set first. Then you can drop the heavy first set, and then you can just do 6 to 8 in the first, 8 to 10, and then 10 to 12 in the third, and then keep going. Okay. And then for the lateral delts, it's just lateral raises. Don't overthink it. Don't think about putting those what is it, kind of wrist thing on like your wrist and then just moving your arm up, bro. Think about back in the days, right? When all the big bodybuilders were training, they had the biggest delts ever. Nobody has had bigger delts than them. What did they do? They just took dumbbells and they just lifted. Just do lateral raises with dumbbell, bro. The problem is, the reason why you don't feel like you're growing is because you're thinking about it as a compound movement. You shouldn't try to increase the weight that much on the lateral raises because you're gonna get stuck at like 10, 12 kilos. It's not that much. So when you hit a plateau, like, a big plateau on like lateral raises, when you want to move up in weight, then instead of thinking about moving up in weight, think about adding a set or just adding one more rep, more repetitions, because that will give much more. You should think about like that. Then we have the rear delts, and the last thing about the lateral delts, I will recommend doing 2 times per week, training them, and then you do with dumbbells the one day and then with a cable the next day. But again, not with that thing. Just put it at your hand height, and then you just pull it out to your side and then slow it down, out, down. Because when you pull it a bit up, there's already the full tension. That is actually true what the scientist says. But all the other shit, you don't need that. Just do those 2. And then it's the same with the reps. And then for the rear delts, just do reverse flies. Where you have to think about your form is that when you come back, a good tip to think when you're doing, it doesn't matter which kind of reverse fly. Dumbbells is a bit different because of the angles, but if you're doing a pec fly, reverse pec fly, or a reverse fly with cables, then you always have to think about that you have so much money around you, right? Think about you having piles of money. You have one swipe, like think about when you're swimming, right? You have one swipe to get all the money that you can get. That's one rep. And then when you can't get furthermore back, then you just kick it one last time back. That's giving the last squeeze to like the riddles. Sorry. Sorry. And then you just do 2 days again with the riddles. You just do 1 day with cable flies, the next day with a reverse pec flies. If you don't have a reverse pec fly, then it doesn't matter. Then you just do it with dumbbells. And then you do high reps because it's such a small muscle group. So don't ego lift that. I would say like 8 to 10 in the first, 10 to 12 in the second, and 12 to 15, maybe even more in the last. And then again with the ladder raises at sets or reps and all this, right? And then I forgot to say with your frontals, the other day you're gonna train incline presses, so you're already training your frontals heavily on those days, so you don't need to train more than one overhead press movement one upper day, and then another upper day or another push day, then you train incline press. That's all you have to do. So that is how you grow your shoulders. And go down and subscribe to my channel, because then we can get more people like you who wants to improve themselves, which will make a much bigger community. I really hope that we can make that happen. So go down and subscribe. Thanks for listening to me this entire time, bro. You have a better attention span of 99% of people on this earth, so I'm very proud of you. Have a good day.